Welcome to MGTOW Theatre. With your host, I am serious. Today's topic: the reciprocity of rape's rapture. The feminist says,
Anyways, I'm not done. Not done. Shut the fuck up.
Now, before I go into this video, I just want to apologize to all of my subscribers and listeners because I have recently been flagged on YouTube for a video that I published over a year ago, and it was called Slut Trek. It doesn't exist anymore. I don't even have the original video of it to repost it, but it basically was making fun of a woman whose career goal was to sleep with like 10,000 men before she died or some weird shit like that. And somebody flagged it and YouTube said it had to do with spam. So regardless of that, at this point, according to YouTube, I can only post videos that are 15 minutes long, no more, for 6 months because of this. And I guarantee you, it was something that upset the sensibilities of some feminists. It had to do with slut shaming, but for whatever reason, YouTube said it had to do with spam. It's very bizarre, but that's where I'm at, so I apologize. My last videos I had to break into 2 pieces, and this video I will have to break apart. There's no way I'm going to get all my information within 15 minutes, so I'm going to predict that it will either be 2 or 3 parts. Just stay tuned, and I will record the entire thing as one piece and then divide it during editing and then upload one after the other. Anyway, let's get on to the real meat of what I'm here to say.
Reciprocity, the practice of exchanging things with others for mutual benefit, especially privileges granted by one country or organization to another.
Now, in regards to rape culture, we must consider the benefits that the modern feminism mantra shares with political agendas and laws, and what this mutually means for each player in the big picture. Now, you can cry conspiracy if you want, but let's be honest and take a look at what's going on around us in real time, in our real world.
Rapture. Number 1, ecstatic joy or delight, joyful ecstasy. Number 2, an utterance of expression or ecstatic delight. Number 3, the carrying of a person to another place or sphere of existence. Number 4, the rapture of theology, the experience anticipated by some fundamentalist Christians of meeting Christ midway in the air upon his return to earth.
Now, is not this social exchange of rape culture met with joy and near ecstasy among its almost religious participants, being the fundamental feminists and political narratives that fuel their baseless arguments? The ism of feminism is not far divorced from any other religious indoctrinated concept we have seen in the past. Now, you can disagree with me if you like, but again, let's be honest with one another. Rape hysteria benefits certain parties with an almost sickly ecstatic joy, and almost certainly they are making a profit off of this rapture, this reciprocity of rapture. Think about it. Now, if your life is dominated by popular media and internet social media, and especially if you're a woman, well, apparently you should by now be absolutely afraid to leave your house. Now, it seems that this is all you hear these days. For example, 1 in 5 women will be raped in their lifetimes. 1 in 4 women on campus will suffer the same fate, and on and on. Rape epidemic, rape hysteria. It's all quite actually ridiculous. But somehow this popular media narrative seems to immediately become a contradiction when you actually walk outside your house into the real world, or even just reflect back in your own life, in your own mind, to your own experiences within the real world. How many of you can actually say the rape hysteria that is pushed on you through popular media is exactly the same as you experience when you walk down the street, meet your friends, and socialize in the real world. How many of you can say that? I mean, gazing into a computer monitor or TV screen makes one think that the outside world has been invaded by giant erect penises, sexually assaulting women at every turn. But if you just look out your window into the physical world, it always seems to paint a much more happy and stress-free reality. Well, at least that's how I see it. But for you, the listener, I suppose, why don't you put that to the test? See it for yourself. Compare your real life world compared to your media life world. Look at the difference. How many people listening now have personal acquaintances, I suppose women or men, that are the 1 out of 4 being raped? How many women, if you were a man, how many women do you know that are the 1 out of 4, the 25%? Where are they? Do you know them? Do you talk to them every day? I personally know a lot of women from the past, the present, and up until now. And to be honest with you, there has only ever been one real incident, one real person, one real woman that I could say was a close friend that ever confessed a personal story of rape to me that was indeed legitimate. Her story was that she was in a hospital and she was raped by a doctor while she was unconscious under anesthetics. But not only that, later she gave birth to the child of that rapist. And this is in Indonesia. And I forget exactly why she was in the hospital, for an operation or something like that. But while she was under anesthetics and unconscious, a doctor, a respected man of society, proceeded to rape her. She's a very, very attractive woman too, by the way. Very beautiful woman. He proceeded to rape her, and in doing so, later she gave birth to that man's child. The funny thing is that she still did give birth to that child. She was not ostracized by her community, by her friends and family, for having been impregnated by this sick man, this doctor. And she did give birth to the child, and I've met that child, and he is now a teenager, and he's a beautiful boy, he is intelligent, and he lives his life. He lives with his grandfather while his mother works in the city. This is a real case of rape, but I just want to digress a little bit and say this. In that same situation in the West, among our feminist white sisters that dominate all of our politics, over there, how many of them would have cried to that woman to abort that child? How many of them would have justified the abortion of that child because of her situation? Now remember what I said, she was unconscious in a hospital bed among people you were supposed to trust in the real world, but was raped. And in digression, I want you to understand again, please, the sycophantic religious concept of feminism, where they cannot by any means understand the story that I might be telling you now. But, that's a digression. Let's get back on to topic, shall we? So, regardless of that, let's move on to the main point of these videos. I saw this great article that Dean Thug Life Esme from A Voice for Men posted on Facebook titled, "The War on Rape, the Logic of the Lynch Mob Returns." Now, this is a fantastic article comparing modern feminist rape hysteria to a very similar phenomenon that happened among the so-called KKK in America's Deep South in the 19th and early 20th centuries. And I think this is a brilliant comparison. Now I'll post a link to the article, which was by the author Brendan O'Neill. I'll post it below. But I'm also going to summarize some of it here for you now.
The war on rape, the logic of the lynch mob returns.
And the author starts by saying,
"We are in the midst of a war on rape. From American campuses to British courthouses, from newspaper op-ed pages to the weird world of online petitions, zero tolerance of rape has been declared. And who could possibly be against it? no one is pro-rape, right? So surely everyone will cheer a war on rape.
Now, this is the entire point. Nobody is going to stand up and say, we don't need a war on rape. Rape is good. We're never going to see that. Now, if rape culture exists, and I mean a culture of men willing to rape women at every turn, then ask yourself this. Do you, as a male, believe raping a woman is good? No, you say? Do you say, no, raping a woman is not good? Well, then ask yourself this. Do your male friends believe that raping a woman is good? And ask your friends, all of them, maybe 10, 15, 20 friends, and ask your 15, 20 friends to ask another 15, 20 friends, is rape good? No, no one in the goddamn right mind agrees that rape is a good thing, which is why rape culture does not exist in the real world. The world that you look out from your window and you see all around you, it does not exist. The only time rape culture exists is in the multimedia-fed, internet, corrupted mind of feminist women who want some kind of excuse for entitlement. I swear to God, there has never been a culture that said rape freely and rape at will, because this is the way to a good culture. It's never existed. But they will never, ever understand that. The feminists will never understand that, because they must have their boogeyman. They must have their Illuminati, their ghost in the machine, which they often call the patriarchy. Now, continuing, he says this, the author of this article.
Consider the war on rape declared in America's Deep South in the 19th and early 20th centuries, when the KKK and other racists likewise declared zero tolerance of rape committed by black men, and it signaled their determination to wipe out this ultimate aggression.
So here you have a comparison to the KKK group wanting to eliminate rape because it was a black man, well, obviously on a white woman. But today, in modern feminist terms, it is just any man on any woman. Well, actually, in modern feminist terms, it's usually any man on a white woman, because they don't give a fuck about women in other cultures. But that's another story to talk about.